Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Classic Live Album War. Today we've got two jam-packed sets. Got a triple live album and a quadruple live album. All right, one released in '78, the other in '86, I believe it was. The first from American/Canadian rock legends, roots rock legends, whatever you want to call them. The Band, The Last Waltz. Okay, kind of the last hurrah for the classic lineup of the band. And the other, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band, live 1975 to 1985. A little bit of a box set here, collecting many powerful performances from Bruce and the E Street Band from between those years, that 10-year period, which, you know, many cite as probably the peak of Springsteen's career. So let's start off with this one here. Okay, this, obviously a big concert, all right, which happened in the tail end of 1976, was also turned into a film directed by Martin Scorsese. It took place at Bill Graham's Winterland Ballroom. Thanksgiving Day, 1976, right? It had a whole bunch of special attendees and lots of guests. Musical guests, that is. So not only the bands, but you had, Neil Young and company. You had, obviously, Bob Dylan, Joni Mitchell, Neil Diamond, Dr. John, Paul Butterfield, Muddy Waters, Eric Clapton. Jesus, I mean, no shortage of guest star performers coming up and hanging out and guesting and singing with the bands. Van Morrison as well. I don't want to forget Van Morrison. So this has been long talked about for ages as the tour de force from the band, and probably the album to get if you're someone new into the music of the band. Okay, not only is it a great kind of going away performance, but it's an all-star performance. So we've got it's a 3 LP set. You got a bunch of favorites from the band themselves. Up on Cripple Creek, The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down. A whole bunch of the kind of more notable tunes from the band themselves. But you've also got a lot of other tunes from other artists who come on and play with the band, all right? So, you got Joni Mitchell and her song Coyote. Okay, you got Mystery Train, all right, originally sung by Paul Butterfield, old Junior Parker song. You got Manish Boy, all right, obviously an old great blues tune. You got Muddy Waters coming up and jamming on that. Further on up the road, another old great blues tune. Clapton joining them there. You got all sorts of stuff with Dylan, all right? You got I Don't Believe You, Forever Young, I Shall Be Released, right? All sorts of crazy stuff there. What else we got? All sorts of other tunes. Helpless, all right? Neil Young. All right, Who Do You Love? With Ronnie Hawkins, an old Ellis McDaniel tune. All sorts of stuff, all right? From, history tells it that this whole evening was a big alcohol and drug-fueled kind of hangout time, because all these folks knew each other and whatever, and there's kind of like a boozy feel to most of the proceedings, all right? From what I've read, the cocaine and the booze was running rampant all night. A lot of people love this. All right? It's got this like legendary aura about it. It's a historical performance, historical live album that people are still talking about to this day. What do you think, right? I'll give you my opinion in a minute. All right, let's go over to the other one, okay? So then we've got live, 75 to 85. Again, recorded at all sorts of places like the Roxy, Nassau Coliseum, Winterland, Meadowlands, Giant Stadium, Arizona State University, the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, the Exposition Park, all sorts of stuff. I got a couple studio tracks on here as well. But, a lot of really good tunes. You got a mostly acoustic performance of Thunder Road. All right. You got Adam Raised a Cain, Spirit in the Night, 4th of July, Asbury Park, Sandy. That's just on the first disc alone. I got the CD version, which has 3 CDs, originally a 5 LP set. What else? Growing Up is really cool here. You got a lot of stuff from the Roxy from 1978. So those are some of the really good performances here. Hard to Be a Saint in the City. Rosalita. Okay, like I said, the July 7th, 1978 tracks, very strong here. You got some stuff from the 80s, obviously Hungry Heart, Cadillac Ranch, Independence Day, all that kind of stuff. Badlands is on here, Because the Night, okay. Candy's Room, Darkness on the Edge of Town. These are some of the early 80s tracks. What else we got here? Some of the more acoustic stuff, from the Nebraska album. You got some of the, the real more poppy stuff, like the Born in the USA era. You got some stuff from The River. You got a spirited performance from 85 of War. Okay. Old classic tune. Promised Land is really good on here. You got Cover Me, I'm on Fire. All right, My Hometown. You got a mid-80s Giant Stadium rendition of Born to Run, 10th Avenue Freeze Out, okay, from the Meadowlands Arena, and Jersey Girl, okay, cover of Jersey Girl by Tom Waits. Also from Meadowlands, okay, of course, Bruce is from New Jersey. All right, play a lot of great shows there, a lot of big shows in New Jersey. And, you got the E Street Band, great band, really good band, probably the world's best backing band, right? Actually, here you got two great backing bands, right? Because the band were originally known as Dylan's Great Backing Band, okay, before they started really doing their own stuff. So I will say, okay, first of all, let's talk about this one first. There's some really good stuff on here. I think overall, there are other Springsteen and the E Street Band performances I like better. Specifically, that Hammersmith show from... God, what year was that? 74, 75? I think it was on the Born to Run tour. All right, which came in one of the box sets, or it came with the Born to Run box set. Live at the Hammersmith is killer. All right, probably better than anything on here. But there's some really good stuff on here. I'd say the stuff from the late 70s in here is quite good. Some of the 80s material, kind of meanders. They're doing all the River and the Nebraska stuff, the more acoustic stuff. I like the more electric Springsteen material, personally. But this is a fun set. Some really good material on here. It's just a lot of it, right? This, I got to be honest, I have never been much a fan of the band, all right? I like a couple of those hits pretty good, but almost everything I've listened to from them by them, hasn't really moved me a lot. And I have a lot of friends who love these guys and for years have been like, oh, I know you like a lot of that classic, late 60s, early 70s stuff. You got it. It's rootsy, but you'll love it. And I've tried. And I picked this up probably about 2 years ago. I figured, you know what? So many people have been raving about this as long as I can remember. And I got to tell you, I know people are going to disagree with me here because I've already seen a lot of the posts on the Facebook page and people are like, throwing the praise up how much they love this and it's been one of their favorite albums for decade after decade after decade. It doesn't do anything for me. I'm sorry, guys. It just doesn't do a thing for me. Like I said, at heart, I'm a hard rocker and a metalhead, but I like a lot of, mellower music, more rootsy music. I do. I like a lot of other stuff that's kind of like this from that era. It doesn't do anything for me. And it's got a lot of guest stars on here. I dig Neil Young. I dig Clapton, right? The Muddy Waters. And, I don't like Dylan. Okay. So the Dylan stuff out. Van Morrison puts in a good performance on here. I said there's some good tracks that I dig. There's some stuff that it's okay on here, but as a whole, it's a bit overblown. There's just a little bit too much, and just too much of it for me just doesn't. It's not moving the Richter scale at all. I've tried. You can't fault me for it, right? I've tried. I've had it. I've listened to it many, many times, and every time I listen to it, I'm like, yeah, just it's not moving me. I've tried, guys. So for me, all right, and again, I know a lot of people are going to disagree, and that's totally cool because I know there's a lot of fans of this out there, and if I'm in the minority, I accept it. I'm in the minority, right? You can't love everything, and you can't agree with everybody else's opinions on things. In this instance, I don't agree. I really don't get this. I don't like it. It's like I added it to my collection, and I've tried because I buy stuff. I really there's sometimes I take a chance on things. And even though I know I'm probably not going to like it, I'm like, well, everybody keeps telling me that it's something I should love, so I'm going to take a try on it. I've tried, and I've given up, okay? After I don't know how many listens, it's just still not doing anything for me, so it sits on the shelf. It's a part of my collection. I just don't get it. So for me, even though this is really good, there's better live Springsteen, in my opinion. But this is second round KO for me. just because. All right. Again, your opinion may differ, and that's totally okay. There's no right or wrong here. We can't all love the same things. That's just what it's all about, right? So you know what you do? Go up in the upper right-hand corner, run your mouse over that little white circle with a letter I in it. Vote for Springsteen or the band. We'll see which one makes it to round 2. I have a feeling I know which one will, but that's okay. All right, I'm still going to go for this one. That's the one I prefer, right? This is on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. The poll's going on right now. Go ahead and vote. Last I checked, The Last Waltz was ahead by a bit. So if you got some Springsteen fans on here, you may want to go over there and vote as well and help Bruce out. But if not, if the waltz is the better one amongst the masses or the one that you prefer, that's okay, right? It's all up to you guys anyway. It's not about what I think. It's about what all your consensus is. So you know how it goes. At the end of 6 days, we stop counting the votes on both, and the winner goes on to round 2, which is going to start very, very soon. So we're finishing out our last week of round 1 of the live album wars. I've got a few more that I'm going to be doing over the course of the next couple days. Then we got some special guests coming on this weekend to wrap it all up with a handful of other ones, actually a little more than a handful of other ones. So we've got a bunch of these shows we're going to be posting between now and probably Sunday or Monday. And then we're going to take a week break from these. I got some rants and some other special shows I'm going to do for about a week and a half, and then we're going to start up round 2 of these, all right? So that's how it's going to go. Like I said, stay tuned later for another one of these Classic Live Album Wars, and we'll see you then, all right? Take care. Bye-bye.